So we're good to go. And like I shared before, my topic for today was triggered because I was having some conversation with a friend of some three friends of mine, and one of them said Bitcoin has crashed, and I think Bitcoin has been declared dead over 396 times since it started in 2009. Any just small market correction, you'll find people saying Bitcoin has died or it has crashed. So today I just wanted to make it clear about market cycles, because if you understand how the markets work, the psychology of the markets, when the trend is going downward, there's a reason as to why. When it's going upward, there's a reason as to why. So allow me to share my screen. There we go. I hope it's, sorry, it's not this one. There we go. I hope it's visible enough. And today we talk about market cycles. Like I said, this was triggered by a conversation I was having with two of my friends. And of course, I was trying to help them understand about crypto. Just 1 second. I think we have a spammer around. Just need to make sure that the guys who are here is people we know. So allow me to do these. Remove, submit and report. Done. So you can have this recording on our YouTube channel. So for those people I'm removing some of these, I think somebody shared the link online, which we normally don't do. So a little disruption in the morning today, but we keep going. We keep going. So I think we are good to go. Let me just share my screen again so that we can get started. Sorry about that. And again, I was saying the reason as to why today I'm sharing about this is because of the conversation I was having with a friend of mine. And of course, he shared his fears and why he worries about cryptocurrency and why he has not yet made any investment in the crypto space. So of course, I decided today, let's talk, let's just share more on market cycles in cryptocurrency. And the first display over here, you can see we are talking about China's styled by Minsky cycle for hedge finance, where we go to speculative finance Ponzi finance, and then Minsky moment, credit against GDP. And then again, down there, you can see they're explaining about hedge unit. We go to speculative, and then Ponzi unit, and then speculative, and then hedge again. So of course, we are talking about a shadow banking system grows asset inflate, and then shadow banking system shrinking in asset and debt defied. And then government-sponsored shadow banking takes hold. And I think this is the reason. The reason is why I started with this is because all markets are almost the same. So we have where we have we start with speculative finance. We go to growth, optimism, Minsky moment, and then crisis. And the cycle goes on and on and on. So an introduction to the concept of market cycles in cryptocurrency, because we are talking about cryptocurrency in general, is that market cycles are naturally a natural advent in any market. However, because cryptocurrency market moves so quick, are especially important to understand in cryptocurrency specifically. And this is the reason as to why you'll find in the market cycles have divided people into two areas. We have traders and we have investors. And this is the reason as why, as you understand the markets, you'll know where yourself you will place yourself. So given that, let's go version of the market cycle, and this is what I want to explain today. A market cycle is a period between a high and a low. More broadly, the stages in between. That's what we call market cycle. And these are pictorial that was done by Wall Street. So I give credit to Wall Street. And if you go online, you will see these. And this is the psychology of a market cycle. Price against time. And of course, it starts down here where we'll have disbelief, hope, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria, compliancy, anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, anger, depression, and disbelief. Again, it goes back to disbelief. Most of all markets go through this. They go through this. So, of course, at here, we have peak, point of maximum financial risk. And then down here, contraction and expansion, we have a trough, point of maximum financial opportunity. So for people who understand markets, they will always buy the dips. They'll always put their money at the dip. And then recovery and prosperity, this is where they exit the market. This is where they exit the market. So above is what a market cycle looks like on a chart. With Bitcoin specifically, using the terms describe the phases of a market cycle from the above chart, not official terms, but terms used, it might look like this. So the first phase is where people accumulate, and this is where smart money, institutional investors, early adopters, etc. accumulate Bitcoin low. They accumulate during a lower period that looks like anger and depression to those who held from the last peak. So this is where you hear, I think Warren Buffett is the one who says this a lot. Be greedy when everybody is fearful, and be fearful when everybody is greedy. I think for him, this is smart money. Because if you entered like what happens to Bitcoin just a few months ago, we went to a high of 68,000. We are at a low of 32,000. If somebody entered at 68, we are at 32, you're down almost 50%. So you'll find that that's someone, if they exit now, they are exiting at a loss. But now smart money, if you look like, I'm sure Louis will be sharing on the news, we have now great institutions coming on board right now. Why? Because they know you invest when there is anger and depression. That's not the time you exit the market. And then we have the second one, which is Bitcoin goes up, it's wise to hodl through disbelief and hope. That's the second stage. You buy the dip at the support. So you don't invest when cryptos are going up. You wait until there's a dip. And then we go to people get excited and the price goes up quicker as many FOMO, fear of missing out. And I think this is what happens. I remember when Bitcoin crossed 20,000 to 30,000, there are people who I had mentioned to them to consider Bitcoin when it was a low of even 5,000. When it hit 30,000, that's when they are calling me. FOMO is fear of missing out. FOMO is fear of missing out. And I think when people get excited, FOMO comes on board. FOMO buy, so those who bought lower start to distribute some of their markup price. So you can imagine like somebody who bought Bitcoin at $5,000, it's at $30,000, they can exit. That's almost 6 times their capital. It is wise to hodl or sell through belief, thrill, and financial euphoria. I'll go back to the chart so that you can see all these. Start closing longs here. So you can see when now people are coming on board because it's getting excited. Everybody news are talking about Bitcoin. Everybody's talking about cryptocurrency and stuff. For people who came in earlier, some of them, if they are not there for a long time, they start to exit the market. And then number 4, Bitcoin is distributed high. This phase consists of the price action near to the top all the way until compliance or sell. Okay. For those people who are just coming in, I'm trying to explain these: hope, disbelief, optimism, belief, then thrill and euphoria. That was number 3, and then compliance. We are at compliance when the markets now are like corrected a little bit up, and now we go to number 5, which is Bitcoin starts to go down. Anxiety. And this is a dip that takes longer than expected. Okay, anxiety, denial, panic. Let's see that. So Bitcoin goes down, anxiety, denial, and sell if you haven't. Short and play bounces. Short are the resistant. So you find a lot of people who, especially who came during drill and euphoria, when it reaches anxiety, most of them will exit. At that particular time, most people are at their money has not gone down or up. Their margins are just like your account. So and then now it started coming down, and then from there people get sad and panic, anxiety to panic. So people start panic selling. And when people start panic selling, Bitcoin goes down even quicker as people panic sell. Play bounces, start closing shorts here. And then from there, we have Bitcoin bottoms out in a messy pattern that can see a gradual grind down to the rest of the market, where now we have anger and depression. This is the accumulation phase. Range trade and accumulate. So when you hear everybody talking about Bitcoin has busted, the bubble has busted, that's the time as an investor you should be thinking of, this is the time for accumulation. And then in similar terms, there are 4 phases. Then we have where we have greed, aka bullish cycle. And then we have distribution, accumulation, distribution, and then fear, and then repeat. So accumulation, greed, distribution, and fear. And it keeps on repeating like that. So basically, just to expound on that a little bit, is that if you could hash out all emotions and get it right every time, all you'll do is to buy at the bottom, which is accumulate, ride the wave, sell during distribution, and then exit and short the market on the way down. Simple as that, really. So be talking about 100-year cycle, 10-year cycle, 1-year cycle, or cycles that will happen within days, weeks, months, and the concept is all the same. I think for the last, since Bitcoin started, we've been having 4 to 5 market cycles for Bitcoin. And most of the time it was triggered after Bitcoin halving, which happens every 4 years. It happened last year, May 20, I think May 22nd, around May 15, May 22nd there. Bitcoin halved, where supply diminishes by half. And of course, since then, we usually have a 400 days of bull market, where bull market starts. So you can see Bitcoin halved, I think, at around $6,000. And then by September, we saw $9,000. By December, Bitcoin was at $20,000. That is last year. And then from January, February, March, Bitcoin rose all the way to 68,000. Again, we had the bear market, which was triggered by tweets from Elon Musk, and also China trying to crack down on people who do Bitcoin mining, and also some people who are holding a whole lot of cryptocurrencies in their wallets. So of course, they say they're gonna ban Bitcoin and stuff. And I'll be explaining that once Lou is done with the news, the reason as to why China is more so talking ill about cryptocurrency and really coming on hard to people who have Bitcoin and stuff. And you get to understand the reason as to why they are doing that. So the concept being that human emotions and market mechanics create bubble and burst cycles called market cycles. So cryptocurrency, basically, the price we know is pegged on market cycles, demand and supply. There's nobody who will wake up today and they say Bitcoin is starting at $30,000. No, it's how many people are selling, how many people are buying. And the reason is why you see those sharp dips is when people panic sell. So in other words, a market cycle is a natural wave-like pattern that all assets form. People speculate and react to associated fundamentals, emotional states, and chart patterns that resort to a mass scale. So it's good to understand this. So there's somebody who came up with this market cycle called Wyckofian. And of course, he talks about the 4 cycles, which is accumulation, markup, distribution, and markdown. And once you understand this, you will always get to understand or know when can I come in, when can I get out. So according to him, we have distribution here, markdown, accumulation, and then we have markup. And for people who do trading or who have experience in trading, they understand these charts very well, because you'll always know, if you're, especially if you're a day trader, you will always know that when the metrics show you, you know when to buy and when to exit. For people who are day traders, but for people who are investors, for them, they invest like now accumulation, and they can wait for years before they exit the market and make their margins. So basically, that's all I wanted to share with you today about market psychology. And because you'll find a lot of people during anxiety, denial, panic, anger, and depression, you'll find people panic sell at a loss. A lot of people sell at a loss. And all you need to do is to understand that when markets come down, they'll always go up again. So you don't need to exit the market at a loss. All you need to do is to wait. Of course, the timing, if you came in at a high, you might wait longer if the bear market takes longer, but at least your money is safe. If you're let me just meet this gentleman. So once you understand that the markets will always correct again up, there's no need for you to fear. There's no need for you to get worried. So for people who I think are at a high risk when it comes to cryptocurrency are day traders because of volatility. Remember, the prices are pegged on the market demand and supply. So if people panic sell and maybe you'd never even had stop losses and you're a trader, you can end up having your wallet ripped or you're losing all your investment. So again, if you're coming to cryptocurrency as a trader, get to learn how can I even secure my investment if I'm just a trader? How do I put the stop losses? How do I trade with having in mind that I'm just risking a part of my portfolio. If it goes lower than that, I exit the market. So these are some of the things that we teach people at Decrypt Edge. And I want to pass the baton to Luis. That's all I wanted to share for today, market psychology. And just to tell anybody I don't think we are in a bear market. I think this is a conversation I was having with Luis the other day. I don't think we're still in bear market. For me, I'm still bullish. And I think once Luis shares his news, I'll also be sharing maybe 2 or 3 news that caught really my attention. So, Luis, if you're there, come on board.
Yeah, Lawrence, I'm here. Thank you for the good share. Hope you can hear me.
Yes, yes, we can hear you,
Yeah.
but we cannot see you.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I think let me. Okay now.
And there's a buzzing sound on your.
My end. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it now?
It's still there. There's a buzzing sound.
How about now? Let me just use the mic for the laptop. Is it clear now?
Yeah, it's much clear. So let me just make you the host so that you can take us through the
Hello.
news. Hello, yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Just. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Let me share my screen.
Okay, cool. Let me make you the host so that you can go
Okay.
ahead and tell us what is happening in the market. So go ahead, Louise.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lawrence, for the brief about market cycles. I think for us at Decrypt, it's very important for anybody to know the bigger picture of where the market is in the first place, because that what Lawrence shared actually gives you a summary of how cycles operate. So if and once you know the cycles, of course, you know where to and how much you're able to come into play to this market. So thank you everyone for coming to the show. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to just give us a brief of what has been happening this week in terms of news, because at times we need to look at what is happening within the cryptocurrency space, because that's what at times drives people's you heard about Lawrence talk about FOMO, fear of missing out. So such sentiments comes from news that is happening all across the world, because usually that is what normally influences people behavior and also way of coming to the market. So let me share my screen. Just going to tackle about probably about 10 news items that I saw fit that is what for me to share. So number one, if you've been here for a while, I think you know that Senator Cynthia Lumins is one of the U.S. senators from Wyoming, who is very Bitcoin and cryptocurrency pro in terms of his supports. Even his state, or rather her state, is one of the states that approved one of the crypto banks to operate. So he says the senator from Wyoming plans to buy more BTC if the price drops further. This is what talking about buying the dip. You had Lawrence saying that when there's a price correction, most savvy investors buy the dip. So that is what Cynthia Lumans said. So as you can see, he says he herself she took advantage of the deeply discounted BTC price this week. That is the weekend today. By adding more bitcoins to our holdings. So, in the wake of yet another major price correction, crypto assets for crypto assets, Lumins told Fox News on Wednesday that she is excited to buy the dip. So that is what the senator for Wyoming did. She's actually accumulating more. That is based on what, as the graph you've seen Lawrence shared, it goes in line because people have the long-term view of this particular cryptocurrency space. Secondly, we can see another news from Canada. Pro Basketball League in Canada will offer players Bitcoin salaries. So this again goes to show you how Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is basically getting a lot of what do you call it, acceptance globally, because I mean, when somebody starts paying you in you start playing your players in cryptocurrency, what does it say? It's a basically a believable currency. So the ability to have part of my salary go directly into an investment that I believe will appreciate greatly over my next 10 to 30 years is a no-brainer. That is one of the player called Galof Nighthawks, who is a guard in the basketball team. So I think that is also it keeps basically solidifying bitcoins and cryptocurrencies use case in terms of people accepting it even now as a form of salary. Moving forward, we go to the digital euro. I think we've had some talks about crypto, the CBDCs, central bank-based digital currencies. And if you've been following us, I think we've talked more about how these CBDCs are going to play. China, I think, was the first one to implement such a project. Now we are talking about ECB. We've seen, I think we saw Israel the other day, but now ECB says, unlike private companies, the ECB has no commercial interest in monetizing users' data. The ECB executive member argued. So the European Central Bank Executive Board member Fabio Pantera has argued that a digital euro offers superior privacy protections than privately used stablecoins. So, what EU they want to come up with their own digital form of currency for a digital euro. That is so to say. So Pantera criticizes the profit motive of private firms, emphasizing it's their commercial interest to have harvest masses of data on their users. I think this goes a whole length, and I think it's a discussion we were having with Lawrence. The moment governments implements these CBDCs or these digital versions of their currency, then I'm pretty sure most companies that already are in the mobile money movement space could have a dent. I don't know how that will play out, but I think it's something worth noting as we go by. Moving on, to El Salvador to drop about $30 in Bitcoin to every adult citizen. So they are going to, like, similar to what China did when they came up with their wallets. They gave out some money to their citizens, like free money. So El Salvador is going to give out about $30 worth of Bitcoin to every citizen who downloads the government Bitcoin wallet app. So this is actually interesting, and El Salvador is taking a precedence. Of course, the moment you take a president in something, of course, there'll be a lot of varying sentiments on how whether it will work or whether it will not work. But key thing is, I commend them because actually they've taken a leap of faith. So we're going to see how that is going to operate. So as you can see, as reported by Cointelegraph, the announcement was made by Bitcoiners with influencers speculating that El Salvador governments will need to purchase the required BTC it intends to distribute more than that is they'll be actually buying more than $100 million worth of Bitcoin just to make that happen. So quickly Google estimates of other population in El Salvador varied on chain. I think they are like what 4.5 million Salvadorans. That is the population, but others placed it at 6.5 million. So we're going to see how that is going to play out. And of course, you can see over there on the screen that is the CEO of the founder of Binance. He says 6 billion added to the crypto ecosystem in one go. That is just by the country just saying yes to cryptocurrency, and of course that is a positive step into the cryptocurrency space. Moving forward to Palestine. Of course, we've been hearing Palestine for the wrong reasons over a couple of months now. But today they are actually saying Palestinians ponder digital currency as a move for monetary independence. That is actually quite strong. A country looking into digital currency to have a monetary independence. I think that is where now the future is. This is not the future, as you can see. So the Palestine Monetary Authority is exploring the possibility of issuing its own digital currency for Palestinians. For Palestinians, the minting of a national coin would represent a step at least a symbolic one towards achieving monetary independence from the state of Israel. So of course that goes in play with the current tussles they have with Israel. So of course, if they have their own digital currency, of course, that will give them more independence, more freedom, and more privacy. So to say, looking at what they are they are they are they are doing. So you can see over there, Palestinians are currently conducting two studies on the matter of digital currency, while a decision is yet to be taken. The intention is to eventually employ a digital coin for payment system in our country, and hopefully with Israel and others to use for actual payments. That is Faras Milem, the governor of Palestine Monetary Authority, told Bloomberg television. So that is quite interesting. That is, of course, it is another right step into the unknown, which is actually quite amazing. So, to some other news in Africa now, to the bad side of it, as I admit new people, like you see, there's some people who used to be admitted. Yeah, I think I've done so. So remember, as I carry on with the session, if you have any question, I'll be just put them on the chat. Maybe Lawrence could answer some, and also I'll be answering some at the end of the session. So let's go continue with this news. Africrypt Ponzi scheme collapses in South Africa. Regulator says it's not in a position to take any regulatory action. So that is another big negative news coming from South Africa. So this happened when I think more than was it 60,000 bitcoins that were. Let me just see whether the use was there. I think this didn't quite clearly. But what happened? There are some people who are investing. They were told to invest for very high returns with this company called Africrypt, and then of course the guys closed shop and then they disappeared. So that is what happened, and they cannot be traced. So that is what one of the key reasons why you should always know. I mean, don't just invest for the sake of wanting high returns. Know the kind of people that you are investing with, and also most importantly, you should always do your own research. So I think it was about 60,000 bitcoins that got lost. So on the same length, in the US, the Department of Justice, that is Department of Justice in the US, seeks trial attorney with extensive blockchain and crypto knowledge. So you see how other countries or other governments are taking the approach in terms of cryptocurrency. They are actually getting expertise onto their they're working in the environment, because they don't want to be ruling cases that they don't know anything about. So the U.S. Department of Justice is seeking a trial attorney to help with the federal executive agency, that is the Digital Currency Initiative. The DOJ posted a job listing on the justice.gov web portal, and the hired individual is expected to serve as an expert on digital currency and blockchain technologies for criminal division. So, of course, this is in line to the kind of cases that are coming up in terms of cryptocurrencies. So they don't want to just have somebody else. It's like you having, as Lawrence like to say, you having your eye as a problem, but you're going to a dentist. So for them, they are getting that in line. They want to really be in a position to rule over the cases that they know everything about. Moving forward, New York City will become a Bitcoin center, says city mayoral lead Eric Adams. So Eric Adams, I think, is the current one of the candidates who is going to vie for New York City mayoral election this year. So he appears to be a pro crypto, and he says he's going I promise you, in 1 year you are going to see a different city. Adam said during his election nightly party speech on Monday. We are going to bring business. We are going to become the center life science, the center of cybersecurity, the center of self-driving cars, and the center of bitcoins. I think that is quite strong. Of course, we've seen Miami taking lead in terms of Bitcoin acceptance. They had the biggest conference actually early this month. So I think City of New York wants to take that back. So which is actually good for crypto, because that is more education and awareness whole crypto society. Moving on, MicroStrategy buys more Bitcoin that is worth 489 million in cash. So I think this guy called Michael Saylor, who is the CEO, is actually going big on crypto. So they bought an additional 13, that is 13,000 and five bitcoins for around 489 million in cash. So that is, of course, they keep adding their Bitcoin holdings, and as of now, they actually have more than 105,000 bitcoins on its balance sheet, which actually they have to report to the SEC, that is the Security Exchange Commission. They have to declare what they own. So you can see over there, it's actually one of the biggest company that has constantly been buying Bitcoin because they have seen how the future means for cryptocurrency. The same guy, that is Michael Saylor, actually gave out a comment. Was it yesterday? He says Satoshi Nakamoto deserves a Nobel Prize in economics. That is what the CEO for MicroStrategy said, that Satoshi Nakamoto, and I agree with him. I think Satoshi Nakamoto indeed deserve a Nobel Prize for his effort. So as you can see over there, MicroStrategy CEO believes that Satoshi deserves a Nobel Prize in economics. Mr. Saylor also adds that Satoshi could receive another Nobel Prize for the innovation of a monetary system that does not rest on the threat of violence. So, of course, I think I just talked about that, where they added another 13,000 bitcoins into their holdings. So, I think Michael Saylor, I think, is one of the key people who've seen the real value of Bitcoin in terms of the future that we're heading into. And he's not just sitting there; he's actually accumulating as much as he can, because that is what him and his investors in his company have agreed, that really Bitcoin as a big case in point. Moving on to JP Morgan, did a survey last week, and the survey came out saying that 49% of institutional investors agree cryptocurrency is right poison, as Warren Buffett says, or a fad. Because Warren Buffett is one guy who didn't get Bitcoin, he didn't get Amazon, so we don't expect him to be basically you don't expect Warren Buffett to be an expert on cryptocurrency. So, but unfortunately, that's what people try and like follow him for advice. So, for if you had advice for cryptocurrency, you should be following Michael Slayer, not Warren Buffett. Even JP Morgan itself, for them, they are in for business. They want to make the best out of it, and that's why I think they did this survey. So you can see over there. And also, this is one of the key reasons why you find that media at times tend to blow out some topic to their advantage. So you can see over here, they're saying 49% of investors told JP Morgan cryptocurrency is a fad, right poison. But what they didn't actually say that what they didn't put on the title is that another 42% of investors feel that cryptocurrency is here to stay, and 9% even believe that it will become an important asset. So I think that is now not being biased in terms of the news. You have to give out the way it is. So as much as 49 says it's rat poison, or it's not viable, for 2% say it is here to stay. So I think that is a good balanced out what do you call it, survey in terms of cryptocurrency. So that, I guess, for me, solidifies the case for cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. So remember, if this will be recorded, it's actually being recorded. You can watch this later on our Zoom session for those who are coming late. And I think also Lawrence can share the link for Telegram, whereby we like do daily updates about the cryptocurrency environment. So moving forward, I'm almost coming to the end. This comes now from the richest man in Mexico, says Bitcoin should be in every portfolio. That is what he said. That is coming from the richest man in Mexico. So Ricardo Salinas Pliego says Bitcoin is an asset that should be in every investment portfolio. He already has his stash. So meaning he already bought himself some Bitcoin. So that is what one billionaire from Mexico says that you should not miss to have Bitcoin on your portfolio. To China, I think one of the reasons I think from Lawrence's presentation was that China was one of the key cause of the recent price correction, and you can see what this article says. China crackdown means Bitcoin is working, says crypto miner. So a former crypto exchange engineer believes that China ban on Bitcoin mining is fantastic news. I think that is good. I also tend to believe so. So China's crackdown on Bitcoin, BTC mining, and cryptocurrency trading recently became a primary driver for the red candlesticks on crypto. That is the correction. But one Bitcoin mining engineer believes China ban on crypto is fantastic news. So Bravon Aravangi, a former security engineer and crypto exchange at Gemini, compared China's crash stance against Bitcoin with the country's ban on Facebook and Google. So these, I think, it goes to compare that initially Facebook and Google had been banned in a bigger way in China, but at the end they actually became very successful companies. So that is to anything to go by. Then of course it means Bitcoin is up for very good future. The fact that China again has actually they banned people who are mining, basically people who are verifying. They're running the Bitcoin nodes to verify transactions. So they are being chased out of China. They are all now moving to Miami and the other Northern American companies to have their systems there. So finally, to the end, you can see a report. Nigerian NFT artists thrive despite bubble fears on ongoing central bank anti-crypto restrictions. So NFT, I think we've covered about NFT here before. These are non-fungible tokens. These are people who are tokenizing their art, tokenizing their music, tokenizing their any form of basically art into a digital representation, and then they are selling that for some money. And of course, many people have been, of course, cashing out big in terms of these NFTs. We've had musicians, we've had all legends, music players, we have artists that is who paint, selling very, I mean, you can imagine selling a painting at about $400 million or even even $60 million, just a digital representation of a painting. That is what now NFTs are doing in Nigeria, even I think Uganda and also Kenya. I think the biggest one we saw was Eliud Kipchoge, who sold his collection of his marathon. I think the 19th is it 1959, the record that he broke for the marathon. He actually put that on a digital format, and it was sold for, was it 4 million at that time in terms of the price of dollars on Ethereum. Of course, I don't know how much that is now, but Kipchoge here in Kenya sold his NFT collection for 4 million Kenya shillings. That is, of course, something digital. I think that is what now Nigerians are really thriving on, and I hope to see more Kenyans come up with such initiatives to monetize their of course their art. And lastly, you can see over there Paraguay University to accept crypto tuition for fees. So you can see how now this is going more and more global. So apart from Paraguay, as you can see over there, according to beincrypto.com, University of America Move will bring okay, so this just summarizes that there are other 7 institutions already in the US who are actually taking payments in Bitcoin for tuition fees. So you can see MIT, that is Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Pompeu Fabra, that is in Spain, Simon Fraser University, that is Canada, University of Coimbra, that is UK, University of Nicosia, that is Cyprus. That's actually, I think, where we did one of our courses there with Lawrence. ESMT, that is in Berlin, and of course we have the University of Lucerne, that is in Switzerland for arts and sciences. They also take payments in Bitcoin. So I think that basically gives you a summary of what happened in the week, and I hope that was if you have any question, you can also drop it on the chat. But I think that summarizes my part of the news session today. If you have any question, feel free to put on the chat. I will be here for you to answer. So thank you very much, and bye bye. Lawrence, back to you.
Awesome, awesome summary, Louise, about the news. And I think I'll just touch on something about China. I think I saw something interesting. Let me just share my screen. 1 second. Because I think it's good also to get to understand why is China fighting Bitcoin so hard? Why are they coming to Bitcoin so hard? So basically, this is something we've shared before. There are three types of digital currencies. We have CBDC, central bank digital currency, which is just basically your fiat in digital way. And I think the next 5 to 10 years, we'll see a whole lot of other countries coming on board. Now, from there, we have tokens and stable coins. Tokens and stable coins. And the beauty about it, Louise has shared about European Central Bank talking about the digital euro will be better than stable coins. It's good to know that stablecoins, these are cryptocurrency, digital currencies that just stay at a dollar. Stay at a dollar. So we have stablecoins and tokens. They are kind of tokens. Now, CBDCs are not competing with cryptocurrencies. It's good to note that. It's good to note that. They will compete with stablecoins. Because if you go like to Tether, $1 is one Tether. And it doesn't suffer any volatility and stuff. So I think I feel nice when I see CBDC will never compete with cryptocurrency, whether Kenya changes Kenya shillings or to a digital Kenya shillings to a coded digital currency for us is a gain. Now, what I wanted to share is about China, the reason as to why they are really pushing and fighting cryptocurrency. They came up with their own digital yuan. And you can see over there, over 3,000 ATMs in Beijing offer digital yuan withdrawals. So you can see at one side, they are fighting Bitcoin and Bitcoin miners. At the same time, they are pushing their own digital yuan. So China is a really interesting country when it comes to these sanctions and stuff. So of course, there's a reason as to why they want to suppress people getting into Bitcoin. Why? Because they want to push their digital yuan to the people. So I think I saw this and I was like, this is interesting because if you understand the reason as to why China is saying no to Bitcoin, why they are pushing miners away, they have their own reasons. They have their own selfish reasons that they want to push. They have their own agenda. So it's good not to follow what they're saying, just understand the reason as to why they're doing so. And another big thing I saw is this news over here. And I think for me, this is a game changer because like in Africa, a lot of banks do fight Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I think most of us have had experience with some of the banks here. But you can see in this news, it says Bitcoin coming to US banks and credit unions, all sizes. So you can see adoption. And the reason is why today I shared about market correction is understand that smart money is moving to cryptos. Smart money. Remember, we talked about smart money. So whether we like it or not, I think in the next few years, a whole lot of banks will also come on board when it comes to cryptocurrency. And I like the fact that US is taking really a very big step towards crypto adoption. I think it's just amazing. It's just amazing. So I think those are the two news I really wanted to share about the banks and about China. I think it blew my mind when I was watching that, and I was like, it is amazing. The adoption is growing and it's growing so fast. So, any questions before we call it a day? Any questions? Remember, we have these recorded on our YouTube channel. You can always go back and view what we've shared, NFTs, all the things we've shared in the previous sessions. This happens every Saturday at 10. So if there's no question, I just want to wish all of you a blessed weekend. God bless your families. God bless your businesses. and may all your dreams come true. Let's keep on learning. And I think next week we will have some good news. There's something we are working on. So don't miss our next week's session. We're gonna be dropping a bombshell of something we are working on with one of the biggest exchanges in Kenya. So we look forward to sharing the news next week once we are done setting up everything and getting everything done. So God bless you. Any parting shot, Louise?
For me, I'm all right. Thank you. I think it's been a good week. It's been a good day. So, as I said, next week, of course, we'll be having the good news. So, let's keep learning. Stay tuned, and we'll be here for you for any crypto related inquiry. So, thank you, and that's all.
Okay, cheers. God bless you all. Have a great weekend.